Now at 5 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, downtown Victoria buzzes with patriotic energy this Veterans Day, with the community coming out to honor those who serve. Plus, after 42 days, Congress moves to reopen the government, but there are still more steps ahead. And the shutdown's hidden impact on air travel, why getting flights back on schedule isn't as simple.
Well, it did turn out to be a very cold morning. We were almost down to 33 was our low temperature. Now we've got a warming trend for the rest of the week as the big strong south wind returns to the crossroads. We'll be talking about that coming up in a moment.
And from Houston to a Michigan jail cell, how a car purchase lands a man in serious trouble. You're watching 25 News now at 5. Good afternoon and thanks for being with us. I'm Shawna Currie and happy Veterans Day to all. On this Veterans Day at the Warriors Weekend Field of Honor, the flags fly and heroes are being remembered. Tonight, a special flag retirement ceremony will honor our veterans' service and sacrifice. 25 News Now reporter Trenton Whiting is there at the Field of Honor with a preview. Trenton.
Well, Shawna, behind me is a sea of American flags, all in their prime, flying as intended, cared for by the Warriors Weekend Field of Honor. But tonight we will celebrate flags that have received some wear and tear at the annual flag retirement ceremony. And that ceremony is the official way to put American flags out of service. Basically, these flags with blemishes and wear and tear are folded into the customary triangle, then placed into a fire pit that is currently being built here at Warriors Weekend Field of Honor. And then after all the families have represented and placed their flag, those ashes will then be buried. Now, last year when I attended this event, you could just tell the air was of solemnity and the importance to the families who were in attendance, whether they had living veterans in their family or if they were paying respects to the fallen. It'll begin with some customary words, likely by Colonel Petrosh of Warriors Weekend Field of Honor, before families start bringing in their worn and torn American flags to be retired. This is the official way to retire a flag, and we'll be there at 6 p.m. to cover the events of the day. But again, a very solemn event for the families in attendance. Reporting live from the Field of Honor, Trent Whiting, KAVU TV, 25 News Now.
And that ceremony starts in an hour at 6 o'clock and is open to the public. Well, veteran recognition started this morning in downtown Victoria with the annual Veterans Day Parade. The weather was great. The crowd was tremendous. Sunrise anchor Carolina Estrain and meteorologist Parker Cox were in the 25 News Now vehicle enjoying the whole moment. Officials tell us there were 71 entries into the parade and an estimated downtown crowd of more than 3,000 people. President Trump observed Veterans Day this morning with a wreath laying at Arlington National Cemetery. The president laid a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier alongside Vice President J.D. Vance and VA Secretary Doug Collins. In remarks after the wreath laying, Trump thanked veterans for their service. He also praised congressional Republicans for their work getting a deal to reopen the government. The bill to reopen the government now heads to the House for a vote as soon as tomorrow. And events have been happening throughout the day today for Veterans Day, including the 4th annual Vet Fest. 25 News Now Ray Mosley is live at the Warriors Weekend Field of Honor with details on what made Vet Fest such a special event.
Yes, here at Warriors Weekend Field of Honor, veterans gather to feel honored. And at another big event, community gathered to show their respects. Vet Fest is more than just food and music. It's about joy, camaraderie, and fellowship among veterans. Warriors Weekend President Ron Koshin wants veterans to remember that they're appreciated and hasn't forgotten about them.
You look around, everything you have comes to you through the power of Jesus Christ or the American military veteran. Those are the two entities that give you everything you have.
Koshin honors the fallen by participating in roll call and says even after a war, it's never really over for their families.
Their families know that we've never forgotten them and we never will forget them. It's very, very important that we don't forget what the service and sacrifice these people have done.
Military Peer Service Coordinator Oscar Pulido says it's a privilege to be able to celebrate the veterans. He calls himself spirit-led and says the point of VetFest is to build connectivity with other veterans.
We want to be able to get people out of isolation and get people out here to be able to just be honored and enjoy their day.
Both Koshin and Pulido wants people to remember that VetFest is a meaningful gathering that honors veterans and cultivates connection.
There's many resources available such as hospice, caregiving, and even counseling. Reporting at the Warriors Weekend Field of Honor, Ray Mosley, KAVU TV, 25 News Now.
Well, the weather turned out beautiful today, but I'm thankful that this cold snap is going to be short because last night it gave me a chance to test my heater, and Mac, it's a good thing the weather's warming up because the heater is not ready yet.
I thought you were going to say it worked well.
No, it's not working, so it's a test.
Yeah,
And, luckily
it was a test, and you're right, absolutely.
It's not critical time.
we went down to 33 this morning in that clear, dry air, but tomorrow morning we'll be down only to about 50, 52, so big warming trend. What's the difference? Well, the south wind is coming back up, and that's, of course, the Gulf air that's in contact with the warm water. We still have the red flag warning for much of West Texas. It doesn't really include Victoria County, but I think that it's close enough to DeWitt and Jackson County to Karnes County that we need to be very cautious with anything that looks like flame. Afternoon winds for the next couple days, probably in the 25 to 30 mile an hour range. We'll talk more about it and take a look at your temperatures coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you, Shawna.
If you see news happening, give our newsroom a call at 361-576-0026 or send us an email to staff@crossroadstoday.com. The government shutdown could be over this week. As ABC's Christian Cordero reports, House Speaker Mike Johnson has called representatives back to Washington ahead of a key vote scheduled for tomorrow afternoon.
Today, on the 42nd day of the longest government shutdown in U.S. history, an end is in sight. President Trump thanked House Speaker Mike Johnson today as the bill makes its way to both leaders.
And congratulations to you and to John and to everybody on a very big victory. We're opening up our country. Should have never been closed.
The short-term spending bill funds the government until the end of January. It reverses the administration's firings and guarantees back pay for furloughed workers. But the bill does not extend Affordable Care Act subsidies, the main sticking point of the shutdown. It instead allows Senate Democrats to lead a vote on extending them in the future. 7 Democrats and 1 independent senator voted with Republicans to pass the bill. It now heads to the House, where it is also expected to pass as soon as tomorrow, even though Democrats say they're not likely to support it.
We're not going to support partisan Republican spending bill that continues to gut the health care of the American people.
Senate Majority Leader John Thune says Republicans are actively engaged in ways to reform the Affordable Care Act. Caught in between, people like Brianna Vasquez, who tells us without a deal to extend the tax credits, her family's $282 a month health insurance premium is set to increase to more than $1,000 a month.
I'd love to see, Congress, who are the people that can change this. So change it. Put something else on the table and, do your job.
When House members return tomorrow, it'll be their first time back in session in 53 days. They continued to get paid through the shutdown, even as federal workers missed paychecks. Christian Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
The government shutdown may be wrapping up soon, but air travel will not bounce back overnight. Under an emergency order, airlines have to cut up to 10% of flights at major airports and cancel them a week in advance. Once those flights are gone, they cannot be easily reinstated. Experts say if the shutdown ends this week, things could be close to normal by Thanksgiving, but it may take a little longer for all air traffic controllers to get back on the job. In other news, 2 Florida parents are facing charges after their 4-year-old twins accidentally shot themselves with a loaded gun found under a couch cushion. Deputies say the mom had been drinking the night before and forgot to put the gun away before leaving for groceries. When she got home, she heard a gunshot. Both children were rushed to the hospital. Their father, a convicted felon, also faces a firearm charge. A Houston man is charged with first-degree murder after a deadly shooting at a Michigan car dealership, all over a $2,500 Hummer. Prosecutors say 46-year-old Terrence Sandals demanded a refund for the SUV, claiming it had rust damage. When the dealership refused, he's accused of threatening the owners and later returning, killing 2 men. Sandals was arrested at a hotel near Detroit Metro Airport and now faces multiple charges, including murder and weapons violations. A judge denied him bond, citing his long criminal record. Oh, cracks, craters, and potholes, oh my. These pesky road hazards do more than slow you down. They can damage your car and hit your wallet. Today, we spotted some trouble at Bridge and Trinity Street. If there's a pothole wreaking havoc on your commute, we want to hear about it. Email us at staff@crossroadstoday.com and let us know if it's causing car trouble or just an eyesore. On this Veterans Day, we honor all who served in the military. It's a time to celebrate those who are still with us and a time to remember those who have died. But as veteran journalist Bill Clough reports, at least one area cemetery where those who served are laid to rest appears forgotten.
Lots of flags flying today. Lots of people saying, lest we forget. But in more than 20 cemeteries in the city and the county are the graves of veterans mostly unseen. Such as this one. There are more than 60 graves in there, including soldiers, but you couldn't tell it. That bothers this man.
I'm John Tate, past commander of the American Legion, Post 166 here in Victoria.
The graves are scattered throughout cemeteries in the city and the county, mostly neglected.
The Victoria Veterans Council is composed of all the veterans organizations in Victoria County. One of the things we did was took on the task of cleaning up the cemeteries that had veterans buried in them that no one took care of. Every Saturday we would get together and pick 2 or 3 and go clean them up. We'd pick up all the trash, take care of the underbrush, mow them, clean out around the headstones and reset them. Well, we got too old and guys started dying off and retiring, and we just could not do it anymore.
City of Victoria cleaned it up the last time we saw people out here cleaning it up. They pay a contractor to come out and do it.
Except this cemetery isn't in the city. The city only maintains Evergreen Cemetery, and the county, in a written statement,
we didn't want anybody to say thank you or anything else. It's just we owed it to these guys.
Tate says the city and the county should care for the cemeteries. Mowing twice a year is hardly perpetual care. Is there an answer? Maybe not, knowing the logistical and economic pressures on regional governments. There is a unique grave in this cemetery. Charlie Booker served in World War I. WAGR, Wagoneer. Britain shipped more feed to the front than ammunition. Charlie's was an important job. A railroad man, appropriate for a Wagoneer. He died in 1979 at the age of 86.
I'm a firm believer that, I get to do what I do every day because of what they do. They pretty much write a blank check for our country. How do you not respect that?
Yet, despite all the flags flying today, some lack that respect, such as Charlie, not quite forgotten this Veterans Day, waiting for a good Samaritan who rarely comes.
And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Stay with us. Straight ahead on 25 News Now at 5, researchers are testing Ozempic for a surprising new use. The study details ahead. And new technology helps doctors spot a life-threatening pregnancy risk. Researchers are testing whether weight loss drugs like Ozempic and Zepbound can improve long COVID symptoms. The digital clinical trial allows participants anywhere in the United States to join from home, addressing a key barrier for long COVID patients. The study uses a double-blind, placebo-controlled design where participants receive all supplies at home and check in through video chats. Researchers will monitor participants with devices like Garmin watches. Scripps Senior Program Director Julia Moore-Vogel leads the research and has a personal connection to the work.
I myself have had long COVID for 5 years, and I, deeply understand how difficult it is. And so I'm hoping that even just seeing the trial happening now can provide people hope.
Scripps is recruiting 1,000 participants who are at least 18 years old, live in the United States except Hawaii, and have documented long COVID diagnosis. Doctors now have a new blood test that could help save moms and babies by catching preeclampsia early. That is a dangerous pregnancy complication that causes high blood pressure and can be life-threatening. One mom at 31 weeks was flagged as high risk, so doctors kept her in the hospital. It turned out to be the right call, and just days later, they had to deliver her baby early when her condition worsened. Doctors say they are seeing more women with high blood pressure during pregnancy, often because mothers are a little older or have a higher BMI. So they say early testing and regular checkups are key. Canada lost its measles-free status after an outbreak, the first time in years. Health officials in the U.S. say we're not there yet. But as Mandy Gaither reports, with cases rising and fewer people vaccinated, they're watching closely.
In Canada, as of last month, more than 5,000 cases of measles were reported for the year. That's more than twice as many as the previous 25 years combined, and has led to the loss of the country's measles elimination status. Some worry the status in the United States isn't far behind.
We have seen quite the dramatic increase in measles really across the North America.
Dr. Keisha Davis with the American Academy of Family Physicians says measles is a serious respiratory illness characterized by a sore throat, high fever, cough, and a rash on the body. Serious complications in severe cases include pneumonia, brain swelling, even death, and the virus is highly contagious.
9 out of 10 people that are exposed to someone with measles, if they are not vaccinated, 9 out of 10 of them are expected to contract measles. That's quite a high number.
The latest CDC data reports 1,681 confirmed measles cases in the U.S. this year as of November 4th. Of those, 92% were unvaccinated or had an unknown vaccination status.
It's very concerning that we are seeing this illness to be on the rise, especially when we know that there are very simple steps that can be done to prevent it.
Davis says vaccination against measles is the best protection. It's typically given to children between 12 and 15 months of age, with the second dose given at 4 to 6 years old.
We really do encourage folks to get that vaccine.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The CDC says older children, adolescents, and adults who do not have evidence of measles immunity also need 1 or 2 doses of the vaccine given at least 28 days apart. To get more news, weather, and sports, come to our website, crossroadstoday.com.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It was a gorgeous day. Now it warmed up very nicely. It's going to be warming up even more over the next couple of days. We're already at 70 degrees, but you might have noticed that the south wind started kicking in and got a little stronger. We topped out at 74, and yep, we were down to 33. Didn't set a record. We were 1 degree off. We could have been a new record low, but we didn't quite make it to freezing, but it was pretty close. We'll talk about our warming weather coming up after this. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Yes, it was a chilly this morning, but it will be warming up over the next couple of days. Won't be nearly as cold as the south wind has returned back to the area. You can see how it's pretty much taken over the eastern states and moderated their temperatures. Remember, these guys were getting snow a couple of days ago. Well, today everything's sort of settling down, and that storm is now way off to the northeast. As the southerly wind kicks in for the next couple of days, it will be getting a little stronger during the afternoons, probably in the 20 to 30 mile an hour range, so it'll be a little blustery, but shouldn't be a problem other than the fire danger. We don't see any huge wind problems. Now, yesterday we talked about the next big storm coming at us from the west coast, and I was really excited, but as of today, you know, I sit back and I'm going, maybe it's not going to be that strong. I'll tell you why in a moment. We'll talk about it. You can see that the current temperatures right now are in the very comfortable 70s, and across the entire state, everybody's having a mild, sort of sunny day with just a few 80s out to the west, but everybody's sort of in the middle of the temperature spread there. Now, as you can see here, the winds tomorrow, Tuesday, well, today really, tomorrow we'll be getting up into the 15 to 20 mile an hour range, so it'll be a little blustery. You'll feel it. I mean, it's not going to blow you down or anything like that, but it'll be a definitely pronounced south wind kicking in for the day, and that's going to help warm us up. Yep, the night times will not be as cold. Daytimes will start pushing into the mid 80s for the next couple of days. We still have the red flag warning for much of Texas. Get a load of this. This is Austin, going up to probably College Station, very close to our area, but through Bexar County and all the way south. We're not actually included, but you know what? What's the difference between here and here? Not much, right? So I think we should all just consider that we're on a red flag warning and we've got to be cautious. So anything that looks like an open flame, just want to eliminate that for tomorrow. And even, you know, if you're driving around in the pickup truck in the high grasses, you know, it might hit the exhaust muffler. You just don't know, so just consider that. Tonight, only 54. Okay, good 20 degrees warmer, almost 60 down along the immediate coastline. You can see it right about here. But inland areas, 54 and then 51 all the way out in San Antonio. And tomorrow's high temperatures definitely getting back up into the 80s. It's going to feel like summertime again. Technically, I guess we can call it an Indian summer. Indian summer, by the textbook, is a prolonged warming spell after the first freeze. Okay, we got down to 33, so it was cold, close, but we're going to have a warm spell all the way into the weekend. Here's the concern I have. This big storm is finally giving the eastern states a break as it moves away. We were looking for a deep diving low dropping down into the west and then crossing over the Rockies and then rolling across Texas. I mean, it is set up perfectly. But then it decides to go up instead of east. Therefore, it looks like it's going to miss us and go over us. But we still have a frontal system expected by Sunday, Monday, and a chance for some shower activity then. And then we'll watch what the rest of that storm decides to do in about 10 days from now. So it's be a while. Tomorrow, we're looking partly cloudy and a high of about 82 in Port Lavaca. In Cuero, you're getting up to about 83. So not a bad looking day coming up. Not quite as cold all the way through the weekend. And we just pick up a little slight chance of rain Sunday and Monday as that front comes through. That's your 7-day forecast. Reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that. Put Crossroads Today on your phone. Shawna, back to you.
Still to come, Ford is completely reimagining the car dealership experience. We'll have a look at what they're changing. Here's a look at how the market performed this Veterans Day. The Dow climbed more than 550 points. The S&P 500 closed up 14 points and the Nasdaq slid nearly 60 points. The price of oil is up 83 cents to $60.96 per barrel. SoftBank's big bet on OpenAI is paying off big time. The company reports profits more than doubled last quarter, hitting about $16 billion thanks to the soaring value of its OpenAI investment. That's giving SoftBank even more fuel for its AI spending spree, though some are warning of an AI bubble. The company's stock has nearly quadrupled in the past 6 months, prompting a 4-to-1 stock split to make shares easier to buy. Private sector hiring is slowing down. Payroll company ADP says about 11,000 jobs were lost each week over the past month, a sharp drop from the gains seen earlier. The data comes from ADP's new Faster Labor Market Report, and while it does not always match official government numbers, it does give a good snapshot of hiring trends. And with the government shutdown delaying federal jobs data, it's one of the few updates that we've got right now. Some popular restaurant chains are feeling the pinch. Places like Cava, Chipotle, and Sweet Green say sales are down, especially among younger customers. People in their mid-20s to mid-30s are tightening budgets, packing lunches, or choosing cheaper fast food instead. Experts say student loans, the government shutdown, and job worries are all factors. But these chains could bounce back once the economy steadies. And Ford is reimagining its dealerships to feel more like a hotel and less like a sales lot. The new design, called Ford Signature 2.0, features lounge seating, food and drinks, and a greeter to welcome customers. A simulation lab in Michigan is testing it out with plans to roll it out across all 9,000 Ford dealerships worldwide. It's all about hospitality and making the car buying experience more relaxed. Well, iguanas are falling from trees in Florida. We'll have the surprising reason why coming up.
The longest government shutdown set to end. Still the airport chaos. Many Democrats asking what was the point with health insurance for millions set to skyrocket. Plus, dangerous snow and brutal cold. World News Tonight with David Muir is the most watched newscast in America.
Iguanas are falling from trees in Florida because of the sudden cold snap. Wildlife experts say frigid temperatures can send the reptiles into a stunned condition, which causes them to lose control of their muscles and sometimes fall out of the trees. The iguanas are not dead. They're just briefly paralyzed. The Wildlife Conservation Commission says frozen iguanas should be left alone until they recover and run off. Residents have taken photos of these iguanas on both the east and west coast of Florida. So that would be a little shocking to see.
Kind of like us.
Yeah. But it's warming up, so hopefully they won't see iguanas dropping much longer.
The iguanas will be doing better this week, folks. We're looking at warm and windy weather, getting back up to the 80s for the rest of the week.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here for 25 News Now at 6.